Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lunatic Plays. I'm the Lunatic who plays video games. We are back with a review, and with me is DoNotImagine.
Hello everyone, thank you for inviting me.
No worries. It's a experiment what I'm doing right now, but I was actually I was excited because you're actually the first person who like consistently, at least person that I know of, like if someone's watching me but it's not commenting or not interacting, then I don't know because I have no way to know. But you're the first person who kind of like consistently started showing up to every stream and coming to my lives, and now we are friends. So I'm really grateful for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, actually. It seems a bit awkward, like for me to express these things sometimes, but I am really grateful because it's like it's you, and now we have Riley who started showing up as well. It's like you guys who are making the channel and making my dream come true. So I kind of want to show this to the people on YouTube, that we can create a nice community, gaming community, share our passion for video games and these stories that we live through them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's the plan, and that's why I thought, what, I want to start doing reviews of games that we play on the channel. So recently we've completed Dragon Age, and there was a lot of opinions. So
Oh yeah, a lot of opinions.
yeah, that's why I thought, it would be nice to bring you in and we can both share our experience of the game. Obviously, like I was pretty vocal already about my opinion, but I kind of want to just summarize it all at the end, and just to share what I thought about Dragon Age, and then also get like a little perspective from your side, how it was for you, like watching it, because like you were present on the streams, and what you think, especially that you have been present for Inquisition. So you kind of have the comparison of what the other games in the franchise were like.
Yes, that's totally true, and I hope I can bring some valuable points to your opinions as well.
Yeah, no, I hope so. And I'm honestly like, I'm open to criticism. I know we've spoken about this on one of our streams before, but I got my first negative comment. It means I'm moving up in the world. And someone was just criticizing the fact that I was complaining a lot. And yeah, sure enough, I was, because I by the end of it, I was sort of sick of it. But I think it's a fair point. Maybe I should complain less. Like I'm a very expressive person. Like
No,
I can take it.
it's fine. It's fine. I actually prefer it when people complain, because when someone sugarcoats everything, then you get no info exactly, because they're
Yeah.
just trying to be nice, trying not to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
And it's just a blunt review. It's not really a real review if you don't speak what's on your mind.
Yeah, so I know what you mean, and that's why like I do think that it's gonna be a challenge for me to be successful on YouTube because of that, because it's like I'm very opinionated and I don't really have a filter as much. I try to do things as a joke, and I'm always appreciative of people having their own opinions. Like, you do you, boo, but I have my opinions and I'm gonna express them because I'm not a vanilla person,
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I literally look like a Gotham villain right now, Like I feel like this look, this is like my CEO look, I wanted to present myself today, so
Yeah.
it's like hot but colorful, and I'm giving like CEO vibes. That's what I'm feeling about myself today. But it's like I almost,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like a Gotham City villain. That's what I'm going for. I feel like the more I age, I just want to start styling myself more like a bordel mama.
Oh my god, I'm here for it.
Yeah, like I just need to start introducing more rings, like I'll learn how to do my own nails, so I can like have like long nails, like each finger bejeweled. But anyways, let's get into Dragon Age. So Dragon Age released on Halloween. I was so excited about it. Like, I was nervous coming into it. Like, my expectations were not high. So I feel like my experience of it was like, I came in with very little expectations. I consider EA to be a shit company who doesn't care about the products that they sell. And Dragon Age, I was worried because of like, when they said the linear progression, no as much like freedom in terms of open world. That concerned me because honestly I imagined something like, remember Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire game, like long time ago? I thought it was gonna be something like that. It's like you just like choose in the menu that you're going on a mission and that's it. You know? I thought it was gonna be like this. So
I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah. So it had good size in that, and definitely like remember the first couple streams that we did. Like I was relieved. I was really happy that that the game seemed good at that time. Like the way that the game started, the way that they presented the campaign, the story. I was happy with it. Like I liked it. Like I was like, oh, this is interesting. I like all the elven lore we're getting. The introduction to the companions was pretty good. We didn't get all of them at that stage yet. I loved the beginning quest of Lucanis. That was nice.
Yes.
It was cool. Like there was some solid things in the beginning, and like the combat was amazing, and I still stand by it. I think the combat is incredible. I love it. I wish maybe we could have more skills to alternate between, but redistributing your points is not that much of an issue for it to be a problem. So I think that combat-wise and gameplay-wise, the game is good.
Yes, for me the beginning was very interesting. It it was getting progressively better as we progressed the story. Also, I could see that you got used to the combat really easily. So I think that's good because you didn't struggle too much and it was very pleasant to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, no, like, I mean, I think it was cool, and the story as well was cool, was captivating. It was nice to actually discover all these other areas of Thedas as well, and I like what they did with the crossroads, how you kind of go between all the different areas. Like, I thought that was cool, and I actually didn't even mind that it was linear progression in the way that it was done. Like, it reminded me a lot about, like, Jedi that we've played on the channel as well. So, like the beginning was good, but I feel like my pivotal moment where I sort of like started seeing the cracks in the story was when we came back from Weishaupt, and it was like, oh, people's head is not in the game, so now we're just gonna ignore that these two gods are trying to take over the world to deal with this one's identity issues and that one's personal drama. And it's like, I don't mind that there was I love that there was a non-binary character. That is great. That is progress. That is incredible. That it's part of it. Whoever thinks that the game is too political, in my opinion, should. I'm not gonna say what they should do with themselves. They should love themselves very much. That's what I'm gonna say.
Of course. So you see, the problem with that is they actually told us, hey, leave the gods now. Don't worry about them. Now go take care of your companions, of their personal problems.
Yeah.
And as much as I love taking care of myself, of taking care of my friends, that's something good. That's something you should do. When there's a global disaster where there are gods attacking everyone, when there's end of the world, maybe you should put that aside and take care of the world.
Exactly. It's like okay, I understand that you're struggling with like your mom in terms of Tash, or like I understand that you're sad about your brother Belara, but but the world is ending. So is it like, can it not wait until after we save the world? Like
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if literal bombs are being dropped on your head, like when literal blighted dragons are coming to eat you, like, it'd be like, sorry, wait, Mr. Dragon, I'm so sorry, Mr. Dragon. I'm sorry, I have issues, I need therapy, and I need my friend to guide me and decide all my life for me so that I can come and kill you. Please come on Tuesday, I don't have time right now. That's what it was given to me.
Exactly. Let me check my timetable.
Exactly. That's why to me that was nonsensical, because it's like, I think that the previous Dragon Age games did better the way that we handled companions, because also like doing companion quests was not even mandatory, like you could have ignored them altogether. But some of them were intertwined with the story, you know, like as you kind of went through the campaign's quest, say in regards to I don't want to spoil you too much about Origins because I know you haven't seen it and we're gonna be playing it. But it happened in Origins. I'm trying to think, like in terms of Inquisition, was there any story? Well, there was with Dorian, for example. Yeah, so like if you do decide to help the mages, you meet Dorian, and I think that if you decide to help the Templars, then you meet Cole there, and there's like more to his story, and it's more like the game kind of like pushes you to have more of their story intertwined, and then like everything that kind of happened later is a result of that, you know, rather than just like forcing you to focus on these companions in just the most nonsensical way I've ever seen. You know, like it just seemed uncreative. That's what it seemed to me. Like it was the way that we were forced to entertain our companions was uncreative. Like it had no weight over the main story of the game. There was no weaving the stories together, and it seemed like there almost was not even an attempt to do that, and that pissed me off because Dragon Age had great writing before.
Agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I totally agree. Also, this game felt like the message was separate your personal life from your work, which again, it works great these days.
Yeah, if you work in HR, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But when your work is getting rid of gods threatening your world, then maybe don't separate your life so much.
Right? Like I think even modern examples could be given like, do you think that, for example, let's bring Ukraine for example, like do you think that people in the east of Ukraine, when they got invaded, they were like, oh, I'm sorry Mr. Putin, can you wait until Thursday because I have a dentist appointment, or I have to go speak to my mom about whatever? Like, no, sorry, you pick up a gun and you go and fight, and if you can't, you hide in the metro because the bombs are falling, and that, sorry, your life gets paused out because of these worldly events. But here, like in the States, were even worse, because magic's involved, dragons are involved, blight is involved, fucking darkspawn are involved, and somehow our head's not into the game. Well, we gotta wait for Tuesday, you know?
Yep, that's exactly what
it was, you know, it was just poor writing, unimaginative, uncreative.
Also, it wasn't that, oh, my personal quest is so important because if you don't help me, I will no longer help you, or I will something terrible will happen to me, so you have to help me. No, the companion quest was training your pet griffon in the forest multiple times.
Yeah, and while the only other surviving griffons are in the hands of a powerful darkspawn who speaks, which is weird. Yeah, and it's like, and we go 3 times to the forest to eat mushrooms because cutesy, yeah, you know, like
I don't even know.
Like, and like you're completely not concerned about the fact that for like 3, 4, 5 weeks these griffons were there. Like, oh yeah, no worries. Well, the writers of the game, they wrote it, so we know that the writers of the game are not gonna let that happen. You know, like that immersion of the world and the stakes which were presented to us was just like as it was placed in place nicely, but the way it was exposed when the tensions are supposed to escalate was a complete disaster in my opinion, like a complete mess. There was
definitely,
it lost me. Like from that moment, it's just a downward spiral, and you know, I really don't like. Sorry for spewing negativity, but that is my truth, my experience of it. I've played Dragon Age since I was 11 years old. You know, like I'll be 30 soon, so it's almost 20 years I've spent with this franchise, and I loved every single game, but this is the most forgetful, you know, vanilla game installment of the entire series, and it just bothers me because even like leaving that alone, Rook themselves, I feel like that even the choices and the agency that we were given over our own character to make our own story, which is what every Dragon Age game has kind of allowed you to do. Least choice offered in Dragon Age 2, yeah, where you had the Hawks, but you still were given more agency over what kind of Hawk you wanted to play. And here, even though we were given the 3 dialogue options, I feel like you always end up with the same Rook.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like, you don't have the choice to be rude or evil. You know, which is
yeah, that's true.
Like you are barely ironic, you know, like I always try to play like the funny character, like the person who doesn't take anything seriously, you know. And I feel like I couldn't even get the depth of that. Like I felt like everything was just like washed off. Like it literally felt like it was written by HR. Like there's no better way to put it. HR wrote the script, you know, and that should have not happened. Like.
Yeah, even the options that were supposed to be mean were just playful, in my opinion. They wasn't really mean.
Yeah. You know, and it's like you can argue, okay, because the stakes are high and you have to get the character to want to coordinate to finish the game. But you could have given us more option about the why the character wants to stop the gods, because like they could have just wanted to be like, you know, following the justice moral code and blah blah blah, but they could have just been like a grumpy pissed off old man, you know, and just be like oh, these fucking gods, you know, I will show them, you know. But we got none of that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how I would react, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would still be like, oh my god, I have to do this? Really? There's no other person competent enough to do this? Do I have to do this? I hate it. Let me be grumpy because I have to do this and I have no other choice.
Yeah, and we all probably gonna die, so like it kind of sucks. Yeah. So I don't know, it was a miss in my opinion. Like I did give it like a recommend on Steam, but I would give it like a 6 out of 10 stars. And like then the romance, my god, don't get me started.
Oh my god.
Like we were supposed to be given bisexual characters, we got asexual characters. Like it's almost like
so
sexuality plays no part except from that one forgettable scene at the very end, you know. Like okay, at least we got that much, you know. But until like the very last episode of the series, like I thought it's not gonna happen, you know.
We lost hope halfway. Also, you know, this franchise is not for children. We know that. It's for adult people. This franchise likes to explore
adult concepts, yeah.
Yeah, adult concepts. So why couldn't they give us some interesting romance, some companions with different interests? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
This had so much potential.
Yeah.
And what we got? One kiss?
Barely a kiss.
Oh, come on. We were dating this guy for what, half the game?
And I didn't even know we were in a relationship. Like I think the dialogue that solidified the relationship was something like pass me the coffee or pass me the salt or so. Like it was something like so vague and weird, and now you're in a relationship. I found out from Tash, who randomly made a comment that we're in a relationship, that I'm actually in a relationship. I was like, okay, it did happen. I'm like, how can I be in a relationship with someone who I have never been like, wanna be my boyfriend? You know, like if you want to be super PC about it, why not have wanna be my boyfriend? Why is like pass me a coffee and you pass me a coffee and now we are together? Like so what? Like now I have to be careful because if I go to Starbucks and the waiter gives me coffee, that means I'm cheating. You know?
Oh my god.
Like
Yes.
what? What?
Be careful. Be careful with those Starbucks baristas. Yeah, but yeah, you're completely right. The conversation was, "Oh, you made food for me, thank you." And that's not extremely romantic gesture.
Yeah,
Come
like
on.
I'll make food for you, you know, like
Yeah,
when I see you,
exactly.
that's just something I do for friends, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like you like there was nothing to indicate they were together. Only the very final scene kind of gave me the idea. Oh yeah, now they
I
kiss
think we're dating.
yeah. It's like the romance happened in the hater's mind, you know. But that's all.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's like I'm disappointed.
Yes,
I'm just disappointed with it.
exactly. There was no depth to that. There was no conversations about, oh, what we are, what are we gonna do in the future. That there were no concerns. There were
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
Yeah, and it all was in the
mhm,
Inquisition. There
yeah,
was all of that, and it was like what 10 years ago.
exactly. Like even like this thing of developing the romance mid game, and then like okay, the romance is over. Like the main scene you had one, but then like you are at least are given the option to come to your romance option companion at the camp and be like, hey, do you have a minute? You know, and you have like a quick cutscene where they just like kiss in the corner and that's it. It's like perfect. Like how much work would that be for the developers to include that, and how much more immersion and satisfaction would we get from actually having that available to us?
Yeah, exactly. I always say, I always repeat that romance and people who like romancing characters are a big part of the community
Yeah,
because those people will go and make fan arts, they will write fan fictions, and that's how games get popular. If you
exactly.
take that away, they won't do that. They won't feel attached to the game. So why won't you do that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a huge missed opportunity, and to be honest, like it was just like I feel like the disappointment stung more, but it might be my fault because it's just like I got ready to be disappointed before the game released and I started playing it and I got my hopes up, you know, because it's like oh it's not terrible, like it's great, and I was like so relieved and the relief was already coming, and then like just I started to get like chipped away bit by bit on my confidence in the relief, you know, and then it almost like I became disappointed all over again, and it was like it was such a hard burn. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can say. It sucked.
Also, there was so much teasing. Like Lucanis was talking to us multiple
Yeah.
times. We went on multiple quests with him, and every time it was like, "Oh, thanks for joining me," and that's all. And we were waiting for that
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I know it's just something that you and me like because we like romance. We like those romantic characters. Not all people like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But either way, it was just disappointing for us.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't, I don't think it was elaborated enough on, you know. It's like, okay, you wanted to make a game that kind of like focuses on linear progression, so like, but then they also emphasize the companions so much, they literally force you into doing their things, and then they kind of give you, it just felt like a skeleton of a story rather
Yeah,
than
exactly.
there was
Exactly.
all the elements that kind of make you immersion is a huge thing for me. Like I like when I play these type of video games, like I want to feel like I'm there, you know, like I'm Manel when I throw fireballs, you know, and all that kind of thing, and just like I like I'm part of the world. But it's just like I just felt like I was just given a skeleton of what it was supposed to be, in terms of like the interaction. I read somewhere that the main story was already pre-written ages ago, and that the ending to Dragon Age franchise is already included in that. So that's where like every game they make, they go to the main story. and they have to like write around the main story to make a new game, to present like the next chapter of what's going to happen, because the main story in Dragon Age never disappoints me. That's why like I kind of believe that this is probably true, because the main story doesn't disappoint me. Like I like what we've got from like the elven lore, from the dwarven lore, about like the Lyrium, you know, and them stealing the Titan's blood and all that kind of stuff. Like I thought that was so great, so interesting, you know, like the way Solas imprisoned the gods and all that kind of stuff. Like that was all great, you know. I loved all those elements, but then these companions got written into it. All of them, like I literally felt like we are all part of a hive mind, and we are all just the same person with multiple bodies, you know, like they seem to have zero personality of their own. Tash
also see that even companions that could easily disagree with each other because they came from different backgrounds, they weren't even that mean to each other. They were like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't like you, but now I like you. So we're all good.
Like there was a moment where I think Tash and Emmerich were disagreeing, because like
but it was like 20 seconds.
Yeah, and the way it was resolved was like it was like a children's book. It was like, it was so the way that they have resolved conflicts in this game was the most unimaginative thing ever. It was just it was like play school. It was like I don't know, like
please be nice to each other, we're a team.
Let's just love and support each other. We have to respect everyone's views and opinions, because otherwise you're gonna get disciplinary action with HR. Fuck that. And that's coming from a HR professional.
That's how you know it's true.
I hate it. Even going back to Tash's character, I kind of keep coming back to them, because Tash like was discovering their identity the entire part of the companion quest, but then you get to decide for them what's their national identity at the end. So like, have they not learned who they are through this entire quest line of who they are, you know? It was so infuriating. Like, why do they let us decide? And it's like, okay, one thing is like, yes, because now we are valued friends, so they listen to our opinion and they take it into consideration. But again, the way it was done was so unimaginative, was so unintuitive, was horrible. I thought that they could have been more subtle about the way that we can give them advice, you know. It was just it was like, no, you're Ravani. No, I don't see Kunari on you. And they're like, legit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I actually really like this character.
Yeah,
it's Quinari with Dragon Descendant or whatever that was.
Yeah,
and that's very
that
cool.
Was
that's
cool.
Very
the
cool
fire
character.
breathing. Yeah,
exactly. That's very cool. And also they came to the conclusion that they non-binary. Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
But again, in process, they made this character a bit boring. They didn't even let them decide their own fate at the end, because our Rook decided it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that this character was in the game. I like that we could witness their development, but it just stopped at some point.
Yeah, it was
they
just one-dimensional.
Threw that away. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and then
I
Emmerich.
don't even really know what to say. Oh yeah, Emmerich, the same thing. He was talking all the time. Oh, I want to be a lich. This is my life goal. I prepared for that. I'm a good person to be that. And at the end, you can just, nah, you're not.
Nah, don't do it. Manfred.
No.
Yeah, it's like one thing is giving them advice, another thing is deciding for them. And to me, the way it was presented, I don't feel like I was giving advice. That because of approval meter they decide to go with it or not. I felt like I was making the choice for them.
Yeah, and also with Lucani's quest, you could decide about his cousin, and your choice was forgive him and put him into prison, or don't forgive him
free
and put
the
him into prison.
terrorists. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like Obama's troops would storm into Osama's house, took Osama, and be like, "We forgive you." Like, go. You go. You're grand.
He betrayed his family.
Yeah.
He tried to murder a few members of his family. He used blood magic, which is a great deal, right? Mm-hmm. He was written as a strictly bad person. They wasn't even, but he was doing this to protect someone. No, he was just a bad person.
Yeah, he was just a brat.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
in a cool
Not very
Gen
likable.
Z way.
Yeah, that's true. And what, you can just put him into prison or forgive him.
Let him free.
I mean,
Fly. Spread your wings.
yeah, go kill more people.
Yeah. You know, why don't we join you? It was
so stupid.
so bad. So bad.
Yeah, and see, all of that, I don't blame you, and I don't blame myself that we just stopped taking this game seriously at the end.
Yeah, like the ending was rough. That's why, like, after all these things, bit by bit, we were chipped away from my confidence in this game. Like, by the end of it, like, literally, like, I knew I'm deciding that the characters are gonna be dying, but I, like, literally in my mind was like, okay, whose story was the weakest out of these ones, you know? And I was literally like punishing the characters for the writer's poor choices, and the people with the poorest writing were dying because I don't care about them, because I was like, yeah, let's kill them. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe let's talk about some good things now.
Combat. I love combat. And visually was great.
Combat was amazing. Also, I love subclasses because look how well it worked with the story. We started as a veil jumper, and with a spell blade, we slowly switched to
became a
Antivan
crow.
crows.
Yeah. And because we were dating Lucanis,
cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
I loved that they let us do this.
Yeah.
This was such a cool concept, and also the fighting style. Oh my god, it was pretty. It was beautiful. I loved watching it.
Yeah, no, me too. I loved the combat. It was really, really fun. Like, I know every now and again I was complaining about the controls because I felt like the parry button wasn't working, but I'm also sometimes stupid, so maybe it was. Maybe I'm an idiot. Can happen. But you know, like, I love that, and I love the visual of the game. I love how much freedom we were given with character creation. We did Tada's Barbie. That was so fun. Like, the customization that went into it, like the different transmogs and the way we changed the character's look every single life, sometimes twice in a live session we change a look. You know, it was incredible. I love that. Like, visually it was very pleasing, and I was concerned about the visual element before because I thought it looked too cartoonish before I got to play the game. But once I kind of played it a little bit, I was like, no, it's actually really good. Like, I actually really liked the visuals. And you know, something that I was really concerned about before the game became one of my favorite elements of the game. But it's like, you know, if you paint shit golden, it's still shit. It's just gold.
Oh yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, the style actually reminded me a bit of The Sims 4 at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I got used to it very quickly. I like it now. And also, as you said, we were changing the look every stream or twice every stream, and we never ran out of options. We didn't even try everything. We had so many ideas. Yeah. So the character creation, amazing. Loved it.
Yeah, no, me too. And the main story as well, like the main campaign, the story of the gods, like who they are, like the story of Gillian and the way she looked and how she was twisting the blight to create all these creatures. Like I thought that was so cool. You know, like for me that was like, yeah, people are saying this game is not creepy, but that was pretty creepy. In my opinion. Like that was pretty bad, you know. I liked Elganon as well. Like I thought like he was cool, like he was really imposing, and but he also like I was almost sometimes wondering whether they're gonna try to redeem him, because he did seem like calculating and cold, but he seemed like he had his wits about himself. So I was wondering if there was gonna be a moment where he realizes what he's doing. But it's also okay that he didn't, you know. But like, he gave me that vibe that like a complicated character, because I could see from Elganon that he did not start from bad intentions. Like something happened to make him that way. Yeah. So like I like
the same way you can argue that Solas is not a bad character because he had just his goals in mind. He wanted to redeem himself. I don't like him still.
Yeah,
but it's the same story with Elganon.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wuss. That's what I would call Solid. He's a wuss. He's just like, he doesn't check in with anyone. He does his own way, and he turns himself into a martyr about it. But I don't think that he has the right of it. Like, yeah, he feels like the weight of the world is resting on his shoulders. But bitch, if you don't check in with others, it's on you.
Yeah. Also, we knew he's gonna betray us from the very beginning.
yeah, it was pretty obvious. I mean, but the whole cutscene that we did in the prison was pretty nice as well.
Yes.
The way we got out of the prison was, I don't know if I like it, because it was like, because that's not how the gods would act. And I was like, that's so stupid.
Friends like you.
I wish we were smarter than that, you know. I wish there was something more to it, you know. I just felt like everything was just surface level. There was no attempt at going deeper. It almost felt like the writers of the game were afraid to go deeper, because I don't know, like maybe like for hatred reasons, you know.
I mean, okay, I can understand that, but still they are creating games, and they are creating a game in a franchise that was known for exploring new possibilities. So what happened? What happened?
That's my question exactly. I mean, and I like Morrigan. I like how she came in and she's like the new Flemeth of the series, you know, and she's like bringing in her wisdom, and I liked her return. Like, I thought it was a missed opportunity about not including the choice of over whether she had Kieran or not. Like, I wish that Kieran would come into it. That was a choice I don't agree with. You know, so it's like, I feel like even when there are the good things, there's always something that follows that good thing that was not done, and that just leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
It feels like they were trying to do something. They begin doing something, but they didn't feel confident enough to end this.
Yeah. And some of it felt forced. Like, it's almost like, like up until we finish Weishaupt, they had a blueprint, and then they kind of run out of the story. So they're like, your head's not in the game. Now deal with companions. You know, it's like, they're like, so what do we do now? You know, and I was like...
Also, some characters were simply stupid, for the lack of better word, like Tash Mother. Yeah, you know why.
Yeah. Like, she's sitting on this information the entire game, happy not to share it with her child. Because of what? An identity disagreement. So suddenly Tash's mom wants to murder Tash for what, being non-binary, but in the moment of her own death, she's like, no, they them. What? How does that make any fucking sense?
Yeah, I just can't work with that, because mother has something that would help her child
it's like
significantly.
even it would be like Tash being like, you don't understand me because I'm dealing with these things, and the mom should be like, yeah, I don't understand you, let's not talk about that, listen, A, B, C, and D, now go and be mad at me, but at least you know this.
Yeah,
that's what a mother
exactly.
would do, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. Like okay, I don't get you, I don't get this whole non-binary thing, like it should be like that, like I'm struggling to understand it, blah blah blah, but listen up, like so the tablet you've given me has some vital information for you and you have to know this. No, I'm gonna sit on it and wait for someone to get kidnapped and killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Thankfully it was the mom, you know. But it was
Like,
just yeah.
You know, I know that they wanted to include like some family drama, family disagreement, which lots of people deal with. Yes, that's a good thing to include. But what they did with that is, oh, your mother, she doesn't understand your identity, and she also doesn't want to help you, and she also doesn't want to listen to you. It's like,
yeah. And then another companion, Bellara, such a missed opportunity there as well, because okay, the thing with the brother ended up being like the brother was working for the Forgotten One, yeah, I think it was the name, who was like the main opposition of the gods. Why was there no interaction between the gods and the Forgotten One? Why did we just kill him as a side story? Why there wasn't a big confrontation? That was such an opportunity to bring the core game story and that side thing together, you know, like to make something more interesting rather than like, I'm helping Bellara with her brother problem and he may or may not work for us. You know, like
I'm gonna be real. I just forgot about him.
right. Yeah, it was so stupid. Everything is just like, it's like it started great, it ended poorly.
Yeah.
So just to conclude, mine was 6 out of 10 because the combat, the graphics, the customization is an important part for me. You know, the core of the story, the main story, I still enjoy. That's why I give a 6, you know. But unfortunately, like the things that do leave a bitter taste in my mouth for me are also unforgivable, you know. That's why it's not higher than that. Like the romance, some of the immersion breaking things with the companions, with the way the exposition happened. It was just poor writing, unimaginative, uncreative. It just felt like they had a deadline, they had to put something out, and they did the mediocre job while doing it. That's what it felt like from a writing perspective.
It was overall a good game, and I enjoyed watching it, and I enjoyed the story we created, but it wasn't very engaging. Like, we stopped playing it, I stopped thinking about it.
Forgettable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like I'm itching to get back into Origins, to be honest, and do the tarot card playthrough. And I'm excited for you to see it as well, because I think like you will really see golden days of Dragon Age in that. And to be honest, like I always thought that Dragon Age 2 was the forgetful one, but when I played it last year on the channel, I was like, actually it's fucking good. So can't wait to show you that one either. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion and being part of this review.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and as the channel grows, you guys, you can also be a part one day of a review if you come to my streams. So don't miss them. You can catch me most days at 6 p.m. London time. Updates on X and my schedule. I try to keep my schedule on Twitch up to date. It's up to date right now. I don't know if it will be up to date in the future, but have a look anyways. And have a look on X, because I do stream most days. For now, thank you so much. Thank you so much, DoNotImagine.
Anytime.
And I am gonna go 6 out of 10 for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Let's see what we're gonna give to the next series. Thank you so much. If you like this video, like and subscribe, drop me a comment down below, introduce yourself, let me know that you're watching. Catch me on live streams and have a good evening. Bye.